going to switch to Vitaly Davidoff, who's going to talk about when AppSec met incident response. And Vitaly, you can just accept the invitation to control the presentation, and then we'll hear from you. And while we're waiting for Vitaly to do that, make sure that you share with your friends the recording of this amazing webinar, because a rising tide lifts all ships, so that's for sure. I'm going to do a quick check-in with Vitaly here. Okay, here we go.
Okay, great. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, great. So, hello, and thank you for joining this meetup. My name is Vitaly Davidoff. I am application security lead at JFrog. Used to be developer for many years. Moved from all the positions, being security champion and security architect, and then AppSec lead. So now I'm responsible for security development lifecycle at JFrog. And I wanted to talk about two parts. Okay, so one is the application security team, or the product security team inside the organization, and the incident response process. Okay, so how to combine those two and why. Okay, the very important question, why we need to do that. So I'm going just to provide a high-level overview of what is incident response process, and then we will talk about why application security team, so why we need to incorporate AppSec team to be part of this process, and what their roles and responsibilities AppSec team will take there. We'll talk about the communications, all the channels we have to R&D teams and other peoples inside the organization, what technologies we can use, and the process itself. And I will provide the short examples. Just a disclaimer before we starting, since it's not the standard way exists to incorporate application security team inside the incident response. It's kind of my vision, or it's how we are doing at JFrog. Okay, so that's important. So what is incident response? Again, just the high-level overview. It's kind of the holistic approach to handle security issues inside the organization. We'll talk about cybersecurity attacks, and we will talk about software security issues. And the goal here is create the plan and the procedures and the best practices in order to deal with the situation when we're under attack, and what to do and how, and now to provide all the vision end-to-end process for this situation. Based on the NIST specification, we have the four main stages, or phases in the incident response. So we have the preparation, that's very important. It's where we're actually creating the plan. We need to create the plan. We need to create all the documentation of the procedures. We need to define who will own this incident response process end-to-end. We also need to understand who will be the stakeholders for every activity inside the incident response, like R&D managers or support managers, maybe DevOps engineers, etc. We also should provide the training we should be ready to take all those activities once we have incidents in place, etc. We also have the detection and analysis. So first of all, we need to detect that something wrong happened. Also, we're under attack, so we need detection at least to understand that someone happened, and analysis. Okay, to analyze what is it. Okay. We also have the recovery and the mitigation plan and mitigation, where we actually take the action. Okay, it might be close the network access, or now remove malicious users, and it might be we just upgrade the version of the third-party package on our production. Okay, it's also the deviation. And maybe we should also now to replace our services or our databases from the backup system, etc. Okay, I'm not talking about the full well, what we should do as the mitigation and recovery. And we have post-incident activities. So I like post-incident instead of post-mortem. I'm sorry, something that I prefer post-incident. And during the post-incident, we need to understand the damage, and we also want to see some kind of the breadcrumbs inside our logs of all the movement inside our network, inside our software, some kind of the marks about maybe remote code execution on our system, new processes created, data removed, etc., and how to improve our process for the next time. Okay, so what we need to do in order to improve, or maybe to change our steps, or maybe to add some activities, and how we actually communicate these to our customers or to the public. So now back to the application security and to our session. So again, from our point of view, so it's not you can think about it as our recommendation or my recommendation, that what if you have critical third-party CV on your production already? You can say, okay, it's not an incident, or maybe you can just JFrog. We for sure we see this situation as an incident. And why? So I know that you heard about Log4j and Log4j a lot. So since it began to be the common knowledge, so I don't need to explain what is Log4j. I will use it as an example, so sorry about it. So Log4j, if you have Log4j on your production in the vulnerable version, is it incident or not? Okay, so I know that some organizations, they say, no, it's not an incident. I know, okay, I'm aware about it. And also a lot of organizations, software companies, they treat it as it's the incident for sure. So why? Because I can tell you that we started to see Log4j payloads inside our logs 2 hours after it was published. 2 hours. Okay, and I learned from my colleagues that they even saw the payloads very similar to Log4j even before it published. So from my point of view, once you have something is critical CV, published critical CV, it's even 0 days, but it's already published. So our software composition analysis tools, they can alert on it. But it's very it's just published. Okay, it's very hot. So maybe hours after it's published, and you will start to see it's minutes after that. You will see someone tries your network, your servers, and your applications. So it's a crazy. Okay, and from our point of view, this situation where we have critical, very high critical issue inside our production as an incident. But here's the question. We need to understand if we are actually affected by this issue. And here, where the application security team will take their place, and I wanted to talk about the why application team. So first of all, we are talking about software security. Okay, we are not talking about a network issue or some kind of the ports enumeration or some access with the wrong tokens or whatever. Okay, so we have tools, we have mechanisms and security controls to understand and to to alert on this situation, on this behavior. But here, if you are talking about Log4j, again, sorry, this is the payload. This is JSON information inside the payload. Who knows that this one is the malicious and can lead to remote code execution on your server? So you should understand how Java works. Okay, so what is actually the payload? What is deserialization? So if we are receiving some binaries from the LDAP, it actually deserialized to something that can the remote code execution on your service. How? Okay, your incident response team, your network incident response, or classical incident response team, they don't have this knowledge. So we need someone who can understand application security field here, and that's the AppSec team. Affected, not affected. So why it's so important? Because just think about it. If you are affected by the Log4j, so what do you need to do? You stop everything. You need to start to upload the version. You need to create the page for your versions backward and create the new version for your, and maybe upgrade your customers, etc., etc. It's far from hours, maybe. It's not really hours because we also need to wait for the vendor fix, but it might be hours and till weeks, maybe. So, and all this time, you have this issue in your production. Okay, it's very, very big problem. So you need also to provide some mitigation, maybe a workaround, WAF rule, okay, permanent WAF rule. And again, who will create this WAF rule? You need application security team here, and your AppSec team will provide this WAF rule as the workaround. Okay, so once you can understand if you are affected or not affected, but if you are not affected, for sure you will save money and effort. You just stop it this moment. You publish justification. We are not affected. Thank you very much, and that's it. Okay, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of effort and time. Also, response to the customer. Yes, you can say, okay, our development team, they actually responsible to fix. Okay, it's not application security will fix the new versions of servers and services, etc. We just provide the technical recommendation on how to do that, etc., etc. But R&D, they are responsible for the fix, developers. But maybe I don't know again. So, but I saw things like developers might put inside the Jira ticket for the fix, like it's fixed, it's okay, something like that, or like it's not relevant, we don't fix it, won't fix it, not relevant. Do you want to share this data to customers? I'm not sure. Okay. Or maybe it will be too much information, so they will start to describe why, okay, and say, okay, we're using this function, but the wrong flag, and again, we don't want this information be shared externally to our customers, etc. So application security team here will take this responsibility and provide the correct and technical justification. And remediation and fix verification, because it's not, maybe it's not only update the version, maybe we need to actually take the fork this package and to fix it internally. Unfortunately, this is the situation. And application security team can actually verify this fix, okay, that this fix should be correct. Okay. So if I'm summarizing regarding the three main steps here about the research, recovery, and response phases, so we need application security team to understand vulnerability details because it's software or something, it's not the network or some kind of the infrastructure security. We need to explain the attack to appropriate stakeholders because we are now waiting. We are not opening the incident response process. We are waiting for AppSec team to provide us the answer if we're affected or not. And we need to provide this information to all stakeholders, to R&D managers, to support managers, to production managers, and so on. So we need to explain. And we also need to communicate with external researchers, maybe. Okay, if this issue came from from our customers, or maybe external researcher, and work with R&D team to verify issues. Applicability, as I said, affected, not affected, is very important. And for recovery, suggestion and guidelines for remediation. Okay, it's obvious. Also, we AppSec team will work with operation team or DevOps team to provide the workarounds like WAF rules, temporary WAF rules, if needed, and verify mitigation code. And for the response, first of all, we AppSec team responsible to provide justification and advisory justification for customers, and also to take the part on the post-incident activity to understand the damage, okay, the level of damage, what kind of the data leaked, etc., etc. Also, as the part of this process, we want to improve our software. So we want to discuss holistic solution maybe for specific issues, as we can see that specific service or package failed again and again with critical vulnerabilities, so maybe we need to think about to replace it, or maybe to remove this feature at all, or to create something else, or whatever. Okay, so documents and communications. As I said, it's a lot of parts here involved in the incident response in general, but once we have the software security here and the CVs and critical CVs, first of all, we are talking about R&D. Okay, the R&D and the developers and the R&D managers, they are stakeholders for the to page the CVs or to page critical vulnerabilities on the software. We also have the customer-facing support team to provide the all the communication to external parts like customers, and we also have the legal and the product management to actually to provide the new versions on the production, or maybe to upgrade versions if we are responsible for the customer's environment. And the documents. Okay, here's the very important. So as I said, the process for incident response, what we do, what we have. First of all, we're creating the channel, incident response channel, and all the stakeholders inside, from the R&D, from the support, from the DevOps, etc. And it's on hold. It's waiting for application security team, because application security team should provide the answer for the question if we are affected or not by this issue. So if we are affected, automatically we raise this communication channel to be the full incident response process. Okay, and it is a different story. If it's not, we just should to provide the justification and say, okay, we are found that this issue is not critical actually, but it's high issue because X, Y, Z. So we should provide the full explanation about why it's not exploitable in our systems, and that's it. So we have the ticket, security ticket for this. We have the document for this, and the security channel and the specific channel for incident response. And they cannot start the process before they got an access from answer from the application security team, from the research. Okay, why we also need security champions here? So I know that Josh has talked about champions, but the champions is very, very important here. And why? First of all, we have a lot of services in place. So, and you know that we should run this research at scale. And as you know, AppSec team, we have maybe 1 to 100. I can't recall now exactly exactly the numbers, but we have only a few AppSec engineers in the company, and maybe we don't have application security team inside the company. We have external consultant. So then we need application security champions. We are running AppSec champions program for 3 years from now, and that's exactly why. Okay, they can help us to run this research and to say, okay, guys, we have this package. We need your expertise to understand, to do the research and say us how you are using it and you're affected or not affected by this issue. We're providing the extra training for champions for the research process, and they understand all the security vulnerabilities. They're developers, okay, they are code. They understand the code, they understand the flow, they are actually responsible for those services, actually. So, and we just, again, we have the channel, we're asking, dear champions, please, here's the Log4j, our lovely Log4j, here's the description of Log4j, that's what you should to look at the code. Please answer us, so please provide us this information. And it's just nothing, it's just minutes, hours, and we have everything what we need, okay? And if you have external guys and external security team, they don't have access to the code, for example. So champions, you are best friends here. Okay, security tools. Yes, you can use security tools here, like JFrog Advanced Security Contextual Analysis, for example. They can provide you this flag if you are applicable or not applicable with specific CVEs. But the problem here that, first of all, I'm talking about the very, very early stage of this CVE. So just published, okay? Again, someone should create the analyzer for this CVE and update the tool, first of all, okay? Again, hours, maybe days, you don't have time. You need to provide, maybe, okay, again, depends, but maybe you need to provide initial response at 24 hours. You cannot wait, okay? You need something that can say, okay, you are affected or not now, okay, next hours, next 2-3 hours. But yes, so later, once it's not something new, you can use tools, and it can provide you the very, very good visibility for that. The one moment that you can 100% to be sure that this tool or some other tools will send you a message like you are not applicable. You can say, okay, I'm close the incident response now, but if you're applicable, it's just the red flag. It's not the 100% you're applicable, but it's very, very good chance that you have this issue actually affected, but not for sure. Okay, and I will explain why. Let's take an example. Okay, an example. Back to the 2021. I think it's 25th of December, if I'm not wrong. I can't recall exactly the day. So we have now Log4j. Great, Log4j. Composition analysis tool started alert on this CV, on this very, very critical CV. So if you just link on the software composition analysis, you will start all the page process and the upgrade process immediately. As I said, it's a lot of effort, but we also took it as the incident response process, and we started to think to start the research. And what we found that we do have Log4j API package inside our production. Great, but because we have a software security or application security team in place, we started to think about what is it actually? Where's the vulnerable code? And vulnerable code is not inside the Log4j API, because Log4j API is not just the interfaces, not real implementation. And real implementation inside the different packages, Log4j core. Okay, I just reminded you, so you can Google on the internet, that a lot of software composition analysis tools actually alerted on Log4j API in just 2 days. of this issue, or maybe until a week of this issue. Okay, because you have to have strong security team in place, if research team in place. If not, you will start the upgrade process for sure. But once we did this process and we spent, I think, 3 or 4 hours just to understand what is that and what is Log4j API and why it's not, what inside and what is not applicable. That's it. 4 hours. After the 4 hours, we just published our justification and the letter of the blog that we are not affected because Log4j API is not relevant for this issue. This is a very short example, and we saw a lot of things like that. Okay.
Vitaly,
Yeah.
forgive the interruption. This is so amazing. We've got one more presentation that we want to get going, and how do people get information? More information about your amazing work.
They can contact me on LinkedIn. Okay, as I have. And that's actually the last slide. Okay, so
great, yeah, great.
Okay, so that again, from our point of view, critical 0 days CVEs should be part of the incident response, but the AppSec team can help here and saving money and effort in order to to stop this process if you are not affected by this issue. Security champions, your best friends. So please, if you don't have security champion program, you also can contact me. We running it for many years. So it's very, very good. Use security tools. Okay, yes, it's okay to use security tools and good, and if it's possible for the help here. And the response to customers, AppSec team, I think it's only the responsibility here to provide the justification, and not the R&D team, and not sales team, and not support team. But you need someone with this knowledge of the security and also the technical issue. Okay, so thank you very much.
Well, if you want to show your contact information on your slide, so people can get in touch with you. And then we'll be hearing, last but not least, from Liav again on another topic. So you have a last slide you want to show, Vitaly?
The last slide? What do you mean?
Do you have contact information you want to show?
On the slide, no. But I think you can just find me on the LinkedIn.
Perfect. And there's a question in the Q&A, and you'll be able to answer it offline. So thank you so much. One of the things, as we're waiting for Liav to take control of the presentation, that I'd like you to think about, Vitaly, offline, is the role of artificial intelligence, through all this, or some type of LLM, and its impact on the human element, on people. So maybe that's something you can think about for another time. So